let's talk about the project management cycle. A project is a very deliberate cause. It's something that you know what you're doing. It doesn't take you by surprise. So how do you manage the different phases of a project, the different parts in the cycle? The first cycle is initiating. Now, when it comes to, this is the parts of the project where you commit to start. So you are initiating the project, you define your project, you write out clearly what this project is, you assess the scope, meaning you bring into consideration every single thing that you think that project needs. You begin to write notes. Don't be afraid when you're writing a lot of things, because at the start of a project, you don't have everything figured out. You might put down a whole lot of random things, but just know that, make sure you're documenting. As time goes on and in the different stages, you'll be able to streamline them to fit what you want. So in this stage of initiation, you determine the resources and the costs for the project. Now, when I talk about resources, both material resources, human resources, what kinds of skills do I need on this project? All these things you determine in the initiation stage. You identify your stakeholders. Now, who is a stakeholder? A stakeholder is anybody in the project who can influence that project. A stakeholder can be the person who has the project, who is the project sponsor. The stakeholder can be your organization's management. The stakeholder can be the customers or the people who will benefit from the project. Just say stakeholder as anybody who will either benefit or has influence over the project. So these are the people you consider when carrying out a project. In your project, you have to identify the stakeholders. In the initiation stage, identify the stakeholders. And then you move on to the next stage, which is planning. Planning, like I said earlier, is a very critical part of project management because you have to be deliberate about what you are doing. In this stage, you figure out how this project will perform. What do you need to do to make things happen? How will you do it? How can you make things happen in this project? Who do you need on this project? Okay, so if I need software skills, maybe I need software engineers on my project. In the planning stage, I need to try to start identifying, okay, if I need software engineers, how can I get software engineers? Where do I get them from? Do we have them already in our organization, or we need to contract somebody? These are some things that you have to consider during your planning stage. And then you move to the executing stage. So you've initiated the project, you've planned the project. Now the project has started. You start executing. Executing is simply putting into actions the things that you planned. You are fully launching the project. And then you get into the monitoring and controlling stage. In the monitoring stage, you are checking the progress of the project. Is this project going as planned? Is it following what I've written on paper? If it's not following, that's where controlling comes in. You're now trying to see how you can control things to work out, to follow what you've planned out. When you are done monitoring the progress and controlling whatever issue is going on, I mean, you are comparing what you planned with what is happening. It's in this stage that you begin to wrap up the project. In project management, you don't just complete or end the project by yourself. Clients that you're working for or working with needs to approve that this project is good to go. You document everything you need to document, the project performance. Remember, we talked about reviewing your project, what went well and what did not go well. You review those things and then you close the project.